Hey guys, I didn't do a video yesterday, but I have a very good reason. Where I live, the water is called the flats. On high tide, a lot of it is maybe 3 feet deep, and on low tide it's 6 inches deep. Some of it's out of the water. So when I go fishing, I base my fishing trips on the tide. I have a nice boat and everything, and I go out into the inside of this island that's about 4 miles offshore. And you can cruise inside, and there's all these little coves and little islands and tons of great fishing there. You have to be really conscious of the tide. So I'm out there in my boat, and I looked at my phone on the way out, and it said the tide was coming in. So that means the water level would be higher. So the water's deeper, easier access for your boat. So I get out there and I'm fishing, and I throw my line in the water, and there's a nice breeze, and it's Florida in the summertime, so it's hot. But in the shade under the bimini top, it was pretty nice, and I ended up dozing off for a little bit. I woke up and I looked around, and I noticed the water level was way down. I'm like, Jesus, how long was I asleep? So I looked at my phone. I'm like, I was only asleep an hour and a half. So I looked at the tide chart, and I saw the time on it was like 8 hours earlier. I hit refresh and it updated. I never refreshed the app on my phone. So I went out into the most shallow part of the area while the tide was going down, so the water level's going down, it's getting shallow. I ended up being stuck for 8 hours and had to wait until the tide came back in, lifted my boat up so I could move away. I ended up coming home at 1 o'clock in the morning. My wife was pissed. I had my dog with me. Luckily, I always make sure I have extra water, because you never know what's going to happen if you get stranded or whatever. But I took extra water, but I was hungry. I didn't have food, but thank God I have a tiny little stomach now, because before I would have been eating that dog. That dog would have been sushi. But I ended up catching some fish, and actually it was okay. I spent like the day just, you know, swimming around in the water with the dog and being silly. I saw a bunch of sharks and caught a couple sharks, caught some Spanish mackerel, caught some snook, caught a couple redfish. You know, it was actually a decent day until it got dark, and then I started getting mosquito bites because I wasn't prepared for nighttime. So then it's like, by the time the boat was able to float out, I'm in this really shallow spot. Well, the boat started to float a little bit, but it was still too shallow for me to trim the motor down so the prop could spin and I could drive away. So I ended up getting my fat ass in the water at night, pushing my boat, my 27-foot, 4,800-pound boat, pushing it through the water. And I've gotten to be an expert at walking in the mud like that, because there's lots of stingrays. I kicked 4 of them. Most people would have stepped on them. Luckily, I kicked them, because I shuffle my feet along the bottom rather than stepping, because if you step on them, they're going to sting you. So, but it was an amazing, horrible episode, but that's why I didn't have a video. By the time I got home, I was dead tired. The last thing I was thinking about was doing a video. So it's 24 hours, it's about 16 hours later, and here it is. So I didn't eat anything much yesterday. I had a couple scrambled eggs 2 different times at 2 different points. I've noticed I'm able to eat a little more now. But I did have my Atkins shakes right on my way out before I left, so that I had a little bit of nutrition. But I gotta say, it was an experience. They say around here, you've never been around until you've run aground, because it's just a common thing. Everybody with a boat at some point gets stuck. So this was my first time, and at the peril of my YouTube progression. So forgive me, but I don't have anything good to report other than that. Diet's going well. I'm losing weight like crazy. I feel like I gotta keep an update on how many days this has been. So this is day 33. Wait, Monday was day 30. Tuesday 31, Wednesday 32, Thursday 33, Friday 34. I missed Friday, so today's day 35. So there you have it, day 35. So anyway, I'll see you next time, and I'll be more careful from now on. See ya.